Hello and welcome back everybody to the human Reignition. Hey, what the fuck are you doing, man? I did not push any button yet. Well, I bought a new controller and it is fucking worse than anything. I'm not pushing anything. Why are you skipping ahead? God, what the fuck? I'm not... Is that thing... Oh, I pushed on auto. Oh. Hello and welcome back everybody. No, you have not witnessed this just in the beginning right now. That was totally not happening and you're stupid. Anyway, I have a new controller and it fucks with me around sometimes. But in this case, it was totally not the controller's fault, but mine. Okay, so... Yesterday I had a thought. Is it actually pronounced the Human Reignition Project or Project? Or is project like the American English version and project the British English version? I don't really know. Anyway, if you know, let me know in the comments. When I finally make it back to my apartment, I throw a boxed dinner onto the stove to cook while I sort through my collection. It's been a long time since I watched Zero Sum. Probably a reference I don't get. A 3-part sci-fi epic about 2 simultaneous alien invasions. It's one of my favorites, but each movie is almost 3 hours long, so it's a chore to get through. Tonight though, I can't imagine anything better. When the timer beeps to let me know that dinner's ready, I turn off the stove and just bring the whole pot with me to the church. Right now something funny actually happened in my brain. I saw the word church, and in my head the alarm bells were ringing, like it definitely doesn't say church. It definitely doesn't. But the moments these alarm bells rang, my mouth already formed the word couch. At church, not couch. Damn it! Using a bowl would just mean more dishes to wash later. I dimmed the lights and hit play, enjoying the familiar tones of the movie's main theme. I watched all 3 films straight through, only getting up to swap discs and to use the bathroom. By the time the credits roll for the last part, it's the early hours of the morning. I shut off the TV and lay back on the couch, not even bothering to change clothes. It doesn't take long for me to fall asleep. Visions of alien attacks and green scarves interspersed through my dreams. And random back to the store. It's a quiet night. Come on. My meager wages alone must cost boss more than the store makes in an entire night shift. Tonight has been even quieter than usual. Pick up, you idiot. Kyotaro, I was already wondering. I thought Kyo was running late for the first half hour, but now I'm about to close and he's still not here. He could be goofing off, but it's hard to believe after the thrashing boss gave him last time. I drop the IG-6 back into my pocket and get back to sweeping the floor. A second after broom to floor contact, I whip around at a whir from the door. About time you... Kojo blinks, his look of confusion swiftly resolving into an affable smile. Oh fuck, I forgot Kojo's voice again. Mrs. Hankawa, expecting someone? Sounds a little bit Black Kyo, but I can't help it. Definitely not you. Kyotaro, actually. Has he been gone for long? He never even showed up. I hope he isn't hurt. It's not my day, I already realized that. I hope he isn't hurt. I would have called him, but I thought he was here. I called him 3 times and didn't get a reply. That usually means he is skipping. It hits me that even if something bad did happen to Kyo, it would take people days to realize he wasn't goofing off somewhere. Did you need him for something? Well, he offered to help me with a few small tasks. Mr. Senkawa. Whoops, I think I switched Ken and Kojo here. Sorry. Mr. Senkawa, would you mind if I remain here, in case he turns up? Knock yourself out. I was just going to clean up and go home. And perhaps I could assist you. He smiles and extends his hand towards the broom I'm holding. You sure? I insist. I guess there's no harm if he's going to be anyway. After a moment, I sigh and relinquish the broom. He begins sweeping with long, deft strokes, humming a tune under his breath. When I'm sure he isn't going to mess up, I yank the mop bucket out from under a cabinet and slop cleaning fluid into it. Artificial lemon scent fills the air, pleasantly sterile. Pleasantly sterile? Usually when I smell something like that, I want to barf. Like really. I can't stand the scent. Like from sterile things. I hate it. I'll be right back, getting some hot water. Kojo just nods, not looking up. Since the bucket has a cracked wheel, it rocks as I push it across the store. The wheel fell off a few months ago, but Kyo managed to reattach it. Boss tells us that he'll replace it someday, but I'm not holding my breath. The water sloshes over the bucket's sides as I return to the front. I follow Kojo, leaving wet streaks where I swipe the mop back and forth. To my surprise, Kojo doesn't complain once, and continues to hum for the 20 minutes it takes us to finish. When I lock the tools back into the storage room, I grab 2 bottles of water from the back of the display shelf. I consider it fair, since the employee water cooler has been broken since I started here. I toss a bottle to Kojo, who catches it smoothly. He's like the cool old man everybody likes, huh? Thanks for the help. My pleasure. It's good to be useful. He smiles mischievously and stretches. Oh, my old bones do ache from all the effort, though. He gives an exaggerated groan, winking at me while he does. It's obvious that he wants me to do something for him now. Well, he did just help me with almost half a shift's worth of cleaning. I doubt that whatever it is he asks for will be that intense. What do you need? I preempt him before he can even request a favor. Only 5 minutes of your time, if you can spare it. I check the clock. We close in 10. 5 minutes is fine, if you give me 5 more. We're about to close anyway, so once I finish that, I'm free. I appreciate it. Is there anything else I can help with? Nah, I just have to count the drawer and move everything to the safe and then lock up. Kojo just leans against the counter and waits while I take care of these things. He doesn't even pay attention to Kurt, who is airing an eulogy for some dead politician. Most people would just pull out their phones to pass the time, especially someone with an IG6, but Kojo remains staunchly true to himself. I wonder if he uses his own phone for anything other than monitoring us. Probably not. For someone who is becoming so prevalent in my life, it's odd how little I know about Kojo. I'm curious, but not enough to pry into it. Once I'm done taking care of the money, I shut off Kurt and the computer that our register is attached to. Excuse me. I hold the door open for Kojo, locking it up behind me. When I'm finished and clip the keys back to my... Excuse me, I have a weird cough since yesterday, I don't know what it is. When I'm finished and clip the keys back to my lanyard, I turn and face him. Alright, what did you need? Oh, apparently we're running through the city on a fast pace. I look behind me. The streets here are desolate, stretching on for what seems like eternity. I've been following Kojo for well over the promised 5 minutes. There isn't a single other person around. Hey, aren't we running a little behind schedule? A little bit, I apologize. I suppose 5 minutes was probably a little over-optimistic. Naturally. So, where are we going? Kojo smiles, swinging his arms. Just for a brief walk. I wanted to get your opinion on a couple of issues. Such as... My voice betrays my irritation. I don't mind spending a couple of minutes to do whatever it is Kojo needs help with, but I didn't intend to sign my whole night anyway. I'll be a little gentle to the man who gave you the newest phone of the new, and who is at the same time your own personal NSA. The first concern is the new location. What new location? Why, for our meetings. He says it like I should already have known. What's wrong with the university? He chuckles dryly. I called in a favor last time, but I cannot do that again. We passed by a small electronics shop. Its colors are all muted due to the low light. Why are we looking for a place when everything is dark? This feels more like casing for a haze than location scouting. We're not exactly looking. Then what is the point of this? I bite back the retort, the weight of the IG-6 pressing against my leg. Heck, I don't believe that it is that heavy. You know, all the technical stuff gets smaller and lighter and lighter. Although I guess, like, these things everyone has these days. God, what are they called? I'll probably put that up. Yeah, I'll put that up right now. Yeah, exactly these. Thank you, future me. Yeah, everyone has them with them these days. I mean, of course they can do more than smartphones and stuff, and you can actually write and use them like you used a laptop back in the day. But still, I mean, those are kinda against the trend that everything gets smaller and lighter, you know? Do you have somewhere in mind? I have several ideas, certainly, but I would like to hear from some of yours. Why? In case you have a better one, I may as well play along. What kind of place are we looking for? Somewhere we may talk openly and loudly, and preferably somewhere free. So not a restaurant. What about a park? What if it rains? There are practical considerations too. Kojo slows beside a dilly-patted bench, whatever the fuck that means, on the edge of the road. I asked Mr. Ochi to search when I spoke to him earlier this week, and another group member has since offered her assistance. Reducing Kyotaro's level of responsibility is never a bad idea. So, now you want me to help? Kojo sighs and creaks down onto the seat. Actually, there was something else that I wanted from you. Specifically you. He settles back, a frown stretching his wrinkled face. There is something in the way you carry yourself, Ken. You might call it an aura. Okay, now we finally get to the core of your cult bullshit, huh? Huh? No. I personally, I really don't believe that Kojo is a bad person. At least there are no real signs as of now. Indeed, it may be a quality possessed by one or two another group members, but I believe it's strongest with you. He closes his eyes, a faint smile replacing the thoughtful frown. I don't know what you're talking about, sorry. Yes, I'm being rather unclear. Let me explain it this way. Ken, what do you think of your fellow group members? Freaks and baskets cases probably isn't the most tactful option. Also, you're an asshole. Well, I already knew some of them. Some seem hard to get to know. Yes, exactly. Now, why is that? Because they are shy? Yes, but why? Are you asking me why people are how they are? In a sense, let me put it this way. Why do people talk at all? To communicate. Or for fun? Both acceptable answers, but if talking is fun, then why should someone choose to avoid it? Then why would some choose to avoid it? Their shyness stems from one emotion. Fear. It's a fear of how others perceive us. Many people, including our friends in the Human Reignition Project, allow themselves to be restrained by that fear. When you're too afraid to speak your mind, how can you be brave enough to speak at all? It's starting to sound like a self-help book again. Yeah, in this case, it's really like, that is so commonplace, blah blah, you know. I wonder if he naturally talks like this, or only when he's making a point about technology. Mr. Ochi and yourself are not bound like many others. You can call him Kyo, I doubt he would mind. Kojo lets out a chorus of wobbling laughter. There, you see, you are willing to speak openly, despite the differences in our age, experience, and social standing. Also, you're basically an asshole who says whatever the fuck he wants. which is apparently, to my logic, very good. Can you imagine Miss Kajihara doing the same? Or Miss Kusakabe? Man, I have no idea who all these people are. Like, for real, I don't remember any last name from anybody. Call them by their first names, please. I have asked you to get to know one another, but I'm not naive enough to think that will simply happen because I want to. And that brings me to my request, Mr. Senkawa. Rather. The thing that only you can do. I want you to make an active effort to befriend all of the members of the HRP. There is a long silence while I process Kojo's request. That doesn't sound like something I would be very good at. You're selling yourself short. I feel like you must draw many friends to yourself. I stare at the old man for a second, then at a broken beer bottle in the gutter. No? Well, there's Kyotaro. Hitomi, I guess. Setsuna, maybe. I don't really get people, you know. Kojo raises an eyebrow. It's only a small gesture, but it's irritating. Like he's judging me. I had some friends at school. I sound defensive, but Kojo beams. You attended at school? I didn't realize there were any left. Oh! Huh. So there are no schools in the future? Huh. Yeah, just a small one. I wasn't doing so well in online education. I am not surprised. Do you still keep in contact with your school friends? Maybe they weren't even friends. I haven't seen them since we graduated. We never had much in common. But you see, that's just what I'm talking about. Even amongst people with whom you had little in common, you still felt a need to connect. I think I was right about you, Ken. I look up from the gutter at the old man's smiling face. My spark of irritation ignites into anger. What do you know? There was something wrong with those friends from school. They never wanted to talk to me. They just sit behind calls and emails and messages. It wasn't just them either. It was everyone from school. I thought it would be better when I moved here, but no. They are everyone I serve at the store. Everyone I see on the street. But then there are people like you, who talk all the time, and I start to feel like everyone else is diseased. You want me to talk to this group? Half of them won't. One couldn't even look up from a phone. They'll just run away. What do you think any of this is even going to accomplish? Kojo blinks. One corner of his mouth twists up, as though he's forcing himself to smile. What am I after is validation of my beliefs and theories. So what? We're a science project? No. What I hope is that the group will be something valuable for each member. For some, I hope it will be a chance to learn skills they have previously been denied. For others, I hope it will be a shelter from the modern world. And for others still, perhaps it will simply be a place to experience the joys of human connection. I only want to assist you as you work together to build a better future. He looks me straight in the eye, and I have to struggle not to look away. What kind of future is that? That is something you will have to witness for yourself. Is this the end of the demo? That actually would be the perfect end for the demo. If the demo ends here, I am so hyped for the rest. He's been talking so much crazy stuff I don't even know where to begin. Before I can, Kojo glances down at his watch and clicks his tongue. I didn't realize it was so late. My apologies. I should have taken you back long ago. I check my contact and whines when I see how long we've been out. Kojo grips the bench and hauls himself to his feet. I'm afraid we got sidetracked. Moving back, how about it? Will you get to know your fellow group members? I don't have a reason to. I don't particularly like Kojo, and this whole thing will almost definitely just blow up in my face. In his face. Or mine. Oh, okay, there we go. And yet, something keeps me from turning him down. Maybe. I don't have much free time. I'll tell myself I'm only agreeing because of boss's order. Splendid. I do appreciate it. I imagine you won't have any trouble getting in touch with everyone else. He holds up his phone. Yeah. By the way, by now I'm pretty certain, like 100% certain, that was not the voice I gave Kojo in the beginning. I still think it's hypocritical to give them to us while he's harping on about the dangers of technology. This may help too. He holds out a white card. I take it and read both sides. It just has one old city address, scrawled in pen. Mrs. Kusakabe dropped it the other day. I forgot to give it back to her before I left. I don't know whether it is important, but it can't hurt to return it. So, this is not the end of the demo? Aw, too bad. That was actually a pretty interesting episode. I would have liked it if the demo stopped here. Well, maybe the demo itself has a great ending. I don't know. We'll see about that. But this was a really an interesting episode. I have to say. I'm really intrigued in the story. I want to know what actually the purpose of all this is. If Kojo really is only there for he wants to make the people communicate again, or if there is some other motive he has. And why is Boss making Ken participate in all that shit, you know? Is it like the government in the future doesn't want people like Kojo think for themselves or something like that? I don't know. But I guess we'll see. Maybe not in this demo, but at least in the future. So, thank you everybody for watching. Come back for the next part. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.